Hi and welcome to Ask The Archivist. I'm Simon Murgatroyd, Ayckbourn's archivist, here to answer your questions about the playwright and his plays. So 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of Ayckbourn's award-winning trilogy, The Norman Conquests, and it seems apt to answer this question I've received. When did The Norman Conquests become The Norman Conquests? So it's a bit of a strange one, is this, as the trilogy we know today as The Norman Conquests premiered on 18th of June 1973 at Theatre in the Round at the Library Theatre, Scarborough, but it was neither known nor advertised as The Norman Conquests. Alan realised when he wrote the play he couldn't expect tourists staying for the week to see all three plays, and they might be put off if they thought they had to see them all. So they were advertised as link plays, but not a trilogy. So what were they referred to? Alan Ayckbourn confirmed to me for this video that during the summer of 1973, the plays were referred to by himself and the actors as just the trilogy. We must also remember that two of the plays initially also had completely different titles too. In 1973, the trilogy consisted of Fancy Meeting You, Round and Round the Garden, and Make Yourself at Home. So when and why did the trilogy become The Norman Conquests? Well, it's all to do with the London production, whereas in Scarborough it was deemed too risky to emphasise the trilogy nature of the plays. For London, it was deemed a necessity to emphasise the plays were all connected, and to understand the full picture, you really needed to see all three of them. So Alan, in late 1973, came up with an overarching title, The Norman Conquests, whilst altering the play titles to Table Manners, Living Together, and Round the Garden. The earliest known public reference to the Norman Conquests is an article in the Evening Standard on 24th of January 1974, reporting the Greenwich Theatre was going to stage the trilogy. Significantly, Alan was still emphasising you didn't have to see all three plays and could enjoy them singularly or all together. He also noted there was no preferred viewing order to seeing them. They could be seen in any order or quantity. Now that also answers the other frequently asked question of the Norman Conquests. What is the right order to see or stage the trilogy? Well, there isn't one. Alan has consistently said from 1973 the plays can be seen and staged in any order. He continues to emphasise that to this day, despite the fact that it's a battle which seems to have been lost, judging by the fact they always seem to be staged in the same order. But back to the original question, and the answer is, the Norman Conquests became the Norman Conquests in January 1974, 6 months after the trilogy premiered in Scarborough in June 1973. So, perversely, whilst the Norman Conquest celebrates its 50th anniversary in 2023, the title itself is actually only 49 years old. Don't forget to send your questions about Alan Ayckbourn and his plays to inquiries@alanayckbourn.net or just type them into the comments box below. I hope you found this interesting. There'll be more Norman Conquests content coming throughout the year, and there's in-depth details about the play at alanayckbourn.net. Thanks for watching.